Today we are going to do a question under forfeiture of shares issued at premium in pro rata category. A company issued for public subscription 50,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of 2 per share, and it was payable as under on application 2 allotment, which will include a premium of rupees 2. First call 2, final call 3 applications were received for 75,000 equity shares, and these shares were allotted on pro rata basis to the applicants for 60,000 shares. So the category of pro rata over here is those who applied for 60,000 shares will be allotted 50,000 shares, and the remaining applications being rejected. The money overpaid on applications was utilized towards the sum due on allotment. A, to whom 2,000 shares were allotted, so this is the first defaulting shareholder, and he failed to pay the allotment and call money, and he falls under the pro rata category. So we need to find out his applied shares. And B, to whom 2,500 shares were allotted, failed to pay the two calls respectively. The shares were forfeited after the final call, and all these forfeited shares were issued to X as fully paid up for 8 per share, and we need to pass the journal entries. As you know, the pro rata category in this question is those who applied for 60,000 shares were allotted 50,000 shares, and the remaining applicants were rejected. And these are the rate per share for application, allotment, first call and final call. The first journal entry would be we need to debit bank account and credit the equity share application, and 75,000 into 2, that would be 1,50,000. Equity share application will be debited, and equity share capital will be credited, that is 50,000 into 2. And these are the shares under the pro rata category which we have excess money, that means 10,000 shares into 2, 20,000, and the applicants who applied for 15,000 shares were rejected, so 30,000 has been refunded to the shareholders. We are going to make a due entry for the next installment, that is allotment, and there includes a premium of 2 rupees. So we have been making a due entry for allotment over here. As you know, in the question there was a defaulting shareholder who failed to pay the allotment money, so we need to find out the arrears for that. So he was allotted 2,000 shares, so we are finding out the number of shares applied by him through this formula, and he applied for 2,400 shares, and the money which we received from him at the time of application was 4,800. Actual money which was due from him was only for the shares allotted to him, that was 4,000. So the excess application money with us is 800, and the amount due from him on the allotment comes to 10,000, and we can adjust this 800. So the calls in arrears on allotment is 9,200. So the share allotment money what we receive from these other shareholders are 2,28,800. That means we were supposed to receive 2,50,000, but we already adjusted 20,000 from the excess money of the other shareholders, and this is the calls in arrears for Mr. A, who actually failed to pay the allotment money. So the money which we received on allotment would be 2,20,800. So bank account debited to equity share allotment would be 2,20,800. Then we need to make the next call, that is equity share first call account debited to equity share capital, that is 50,000 into 2, 1 lakh, and bank account debited to equity share first call. We have a calls in arrears in this installment also, and Mr. A, who was been allotted 2,000 shares, he didn't pay this money, and Mr. B, who was supposed to pay this installment on his 2,500 shares, also failed to pay this call. So we do not receive that money from both the shareholders, that is from 2,000 shares and from 2,500 respectively, and the money which we finally receive after the calls in arrears is 91,000. We need to make a due entry for the next installment, that is equity share final call account, and then we will not receive the money from the equity share final call also. There is a calls in arrears from both the shareholders. We need to pass a forfeiture entry for the shares which we are cancelling over here, that is forfeiting over here. So let us see the forfeiture entry for Mr. A. So the forfeiture entry for Mr. A is equity share capital account debit 20,000. We didn't receive the premium from him, so we are debiting premium also, and these are the amounts which we have respectively received and not received from him. So we have received in total, when he applied for 2400, he paid us 4800, and remaining we know his calls in arrears, so we are crediting all the unpaid amount by Mr. A. In the same manner we can do for Mr. B. Remember, Mr. B had paid the allotment and he also have paid the premium. So a shareholder who have paid the premium, and while forfeiture we are not going to debit the premium for Mr. B. So we are going to ignore that premium. So he will be debited with the equity share capital, that is 2500 into 10, and to share forfeiture is the amount which we receive from him except the premium, and equity share first call and the final call is the unpaid amount of Mr. B. The shares are reissued to Mr. X at 8, fully paid up. So bank account debited, share forfeiture account debited to equity share capital, 4500 has been reissued at rupees 8 per share, fully paid up. And how to calculate the capital reserve, I'll show you through a working note. So to calculate the capital reserve, first, as you know, the share forfeited credit for A and B respectively, that was excluding premium, comes to 17,300, and the loss we suffered while reissue was 9,000 on these 4,500 share. So the balance of 8,300 will be the amount which will be transferring to the capital reserve. So this is how we have calculated the capital reserve for the last entry, that is share forfeiture account debited to capital reserve 8,300.